All right. What's good? What's good? What's good? You tune in Apartment 5B podcast hosted by your man Kill. As you can see, it is a full house. As always, ladies first. Porsche, what's going on, miss?
How's it going, Kel?
Everything is good. DJ Rec Run out in Houston with the MAGA people. What's going on, man?
Hey, man. They ain't my people, man. I just report what I see.
No doubt. I feel you. Jens, out in New Orleans. What's going on, good brother?
What's up, Kel? How y'all doing?
And everything is good. JR, the R&B guru, dropping jewels on Aretha and the Claudine soundtrack. What's going on, good brother?
Oh, what's up? What's going on, everybody?
Everything is good. Everything is good. And my man, last but not least, Eddie out in LA. What's going on, good brother?
Hey, man, I'm good, man. You know, I always got to do it up with the T-shirts. I got Black Star this time.
Nice.
Very good, dope shirt. Y'all know me. Let's get right into it. There's this misconception on the timeline that I don't like Black Thought, and nothing can be further from the truth. You know what I mean, it's a misconception. It's a lie from the pit of hell. I love Black Thought. If y'all can't really see, I got a Roots picture frame back there. I own every Roots album, multiple copies to support them. I do not dislike Black Thought. I personally don't think he's a storyteller. So, and I like storyteller MCs, which is why I'm not a big fan. I'm not a super duper fan of Black Thought because of that. And I broke it down to my man on Twitter the other day because he was like, yo, damn, Kill, I really thought you didn't rock with Thor. And I said, yo, I like point guards. That's my favorite position in basketball. So when you ask me who are my favorite players, it's going to be Iverson, Isaiah Thomas, Godsham. I mean, it's going to be point guard. So that's no diss to the other four positions. And that's the best way that I could try to explain this to people. That is, no, I'm not saying Kevin Durant ain't nice or LeBron ain't one of the best ever. Jordan and Kobe ain't on my list of top 5 favorite players because they're two guards. So it's no diss to those other positions, but I just like point guards. So I was like, yo, let's do this. Let's look at what are the positions of hip hop? Who are the different type of MCs that we have? So again, people always want to know why we don't show the behind the scenes. Well, how'd y'all come up with the March Madness brackets? I'm doing more behind the scenes stuff. So we are going to sit here, come up with the different categories for spitters. And then we're going to look at our top 5 or some of our favorite rappers and figure out what categories do they fit in. And maybe we find out at the end of the night, you know what? I like more of these type rappers, or maybe you like all the rappers or anything like that. So real quick, just for somebody out there, because I know there are folk who don't watch basketball, positions, right? You're with me on this. Point guard distributes the rock. That's his whole job. Let me get everybody else involved. He's 9 times out of 10 going to be the best ball handler and the best passer on your team. The two guard, basically his job is to score. He's 9 times out of 10 going to be the best shooter on the team. Jordan was a two guard. Kobe was a two guard. Iverson was a two guard and a point guard body. So they're the people who are going to score. Small forward, a little bit taller than a shooting guard, kind of same position, but the small forward should be able to go down in the paint and post up. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of going to be the difference because he's taller than the two guard. Power, well, I'll go to center first. Center is usually the biggest, tallest, strongest person on the team. They're under the basket. They're going to take very close shots. Think Shaquille O'Neal, Akeem Olajuwon, things like that. Power forward, almost the same as the center, block, rebound, all that good stuff. But your power forward may be able to step out and hit a 10 to 12 foot jumper from time to time. So those are different positions of basketball. Like I said, my favorite is point guard. Doesn't mean I'm not saying Shaq wasn't dope or Jordan wasn't dope or LeBron isn't dope. Just not my favorite position. So y'all tell me this. I came up with some things and we're gonna figure this out. So boom, I got spitters as a position. What do y'all think about that? When I think spitters, I think Black Thought. So since Thought started all this, I thought, okay, who is Black Thought to me? He is a spitter. Does that sound about right, everybody?
Yes.
All right, Black Thought is a spitter. Okay, so we got
So
huh?
So for me, along with being a spitter, for Black Thought, I also got like stream of consciousness.
Okay, so he's a conscious MC.
No, I mean when I'm saying stream of consciousness, not meaning like his subject matter, but I mean his rhyme style, right? So, I mean when you say Black Thought can tell a story, I think he tells stories, but not in a linear fashion, if that makes sense, right? Like his whole rhyme might paint a picture and tell a story, but it's more stream of consciousness, right? Like he's getting his thoughts out, but it's not necessarily a linear story. Like it doesn't have a beginning, middle, and end. Does that
Okay.
make sense?
My question on that is, then is that a story? Because when I was in college, I couldn't write a paper that call it stream of consciousness and not have an intro, a body, and an outro. Like, so
No,
I think-
doubt.
So I'm just
That's
asking, like, is that really like? Because when we did the Black Thought Challenge, here's the funniest thing: I had people telling me the same song was about 4 different things. And when
So
I
I
think
got you.
you're not gonna get that. When I ask, yo, what does Commons testify about? Nobody's gonna be like, oh, it's about a little girl who was lost and Common found her, and then somebody else is like, oh no, it was about, the drug dealer was really the wife, and if I ask you what is Just to Get a Rep about, it's gonna be like, yo, niggas getting robbed. Like, so I feel like with Thought, and even that's the funniest thing through the Black Thought Challenge was people was like, oh no, Star is about this. I had Black Thought people argue with each other like, no, Star's about this. No, it's about this. No, it's about this. So I'm just wondering then if it doesn't have an intro, outro, conclusion, is it really a story?
No, that's why I'm not saying I'm not calling him a storyteller. I'm just
Right.
saying stream of consciousness. Like there's a lot of MCs who do that in their rhymes, So I mean, you got spitters who are just spitters who are like barring folks up.
Oh,
Which, Thought, which Thought can do, but he's also he's giving you knowledge as well,
No, that's a good point. And I didn't mean any disrespect as spitters as just that. Like but that's a good point, because the question I had is then I got the Lyrical Miracle MCs. And I didn't know if the Lyrical Miracle MCs fall in line with spitters too. And what I mean by Lyrical Miracle is I'm like Elzai. Like, where does Elzai fit in with you? Like,
yeah.
Like, what would you, Porsche? What would you call Elzai? If somebody said explain Elzai to me, what would you say about Elzai?
Yeah, I would say lyrical.
Okay. Or I said Elzai and Genius, because I think if you ask somebody who's the most lyrical person in the Wu, that most people would kind of say Genius or maybe Deck. I don't know.
Yeah, that I could see that for sure.
Yeah.
Jizza,
So for Genius, I mean, and not just a play on his name. Obviously, he's called the Genius, but I have him in the category of a cerebral MC, and I kind of put Pharoah Monch in there as well, even though they're both, they could both also be considered lyrical miracle and spitters, but cerebral and that, like, they're gonna say some shit that you gotta open a dictionary or an encyclopedia to figure out.
All right.
What I mean? So
That's a good one. Cerebral MCs.
I have that under like conscious as
Okay. So
well-ish.
Ed, do you see that the same thing? Like cerebral, conscious? Because see, when I have conscious down too, but I was like Chuck D,
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So conscious is more socially conscious. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So
okay.
that's a different, Yeah.
Okay.
So we got
I tried to minimize the categories, so I kind of grouped them.
So we got cerebral, conscious. Who else do you think is a spitter that would fall in that like what? And the reason why I said thought, and again, it's no disrespect, I just thought of the freestyle where it's like you just let him loose. Like you put on a beat and then you look up in 20 minutes and this nigga's still rhyming. Like
I have pun in that category as well.
okay.
And just to clarify, like as you guys were talking, I don't think any here's the thing. We'll use the basketball analogy. In basketball, like we're assuming that at an NBA level that all the players can shoot baskets, right? Like they can make shots from at some area of the court, right?
Except Ben Simmons, but keep going.
Okay. But it depends on where people excel. So where I personally categorize, and I'm sure you guys did too, is these are where these particular MCs excel. This is where their forte is, rather than, yes, every pun, sure, someone's going to be like, yeah, but pun's a storyteller. Yeah, pun's a storyteller, but is that where he's excelling at? Do you see him as excelling as a storyteller, or do you see him excelling as like a spitter? Because when I'm categorizing my MCs, I'm literally taking what are they known for, what are they best at, what are they going to excel at. So I just had to put that out there.
That's a great point. I mean, if you think Steph Curry, you're going to think 3-point shooting.
Right.
If you think Vince Carter, you're going to think dunk.
Right.
Obviously, you're going to think crossover.
But does that mean that Vince Carter never was able to shoot a three? No.
Right,
no,
right.
he can, but that's not his forte. That's not where he's gonna excel at. So
Right. That's not what he's known for. All right. So then we got spitters, cerebral MCs, conscious MCs. What about storytellers? Who do you think of when I say storyteller? Who would be the MC? Like Portia said, that they excel at storytelling. Who you think, JR? Like if storytelling, who's a dope storytelling MC?
Big.
Okay.
yay, JR.
Oh yeah. Big.
I wasn't gonna mention Big because I always mention Big, so I'm glad.
Yeah, and I was gonna say Slick Rick, but Kill goes in with him.
No. I think Slick Rick is a dope storyteller. Here's the premise, y'all. Like, I don't think Rick is the best ever, but that doesn't mean I don't think he's a dope storyteller. I just don't think he's the best ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I got Nas could be considered. I mean, he's a dope storyteller, but I also got him in the category of street poet. So
Okay.
I got him and Sky Zoo as street poets.
Okay. Street poet. Elaborate on that. How do you break that down? And what does that mean to you? Like street poet?
Because they cover the street topics, but it's not they're not covering it from the side of necessarily like I'm the biggest drug dealer, I'm this and that. Although Nas kind of had a point in time when he did do that, but his biggest album, Illmatic, it was like he was the kid on the stoop or looking out his project window telling the story, and a lot of his other albums, he kind of did his observations like that. And that's what I get from Sky Zoo as well. Like Sky Zoo, he has a lot of albums, they have different themes, but it's really, I get a lot of observations of the street without him trying to say that
He did it.
part of that life. Yeah, exactly.
So can we also say street poet, say hood reporter? Could we do / hood reporter? Like they're reporting, not saying they did it, but this is what I see every day on the block.
Yeah.
All right, dope. Okay. So anybody else for storyteller just off the top? Sean said Ghostface.
Wow, that's what I was about to say.
Definitely Ghostface.
All right. Next up, I got cocaine trafficker. That's kind of self-explanatory. You sell coke. This is Pusha T. This is Benny the Butcher. This is Stove Guy Cooks. This is the cocaine. So we got the cocaine trafficker. That's a
Freddie Gibbs.
very straight to the point. Yep, Pusha. We got that. So we got now. I've got adult contemporary, which I have Fonte. Basically, it's the people who are talking about when people my age at 46, like I can't get with hip hop, it doesn't speak to me anymore. You got Fonte talking about being married, getting divorced, getting remarried, raising your kids.
Yeah.
The MCs.
Scarface.
What you say, Porsche?
Scarface in that category.
Scarface.
Yeah. I got Merce.
I put Sky Zoo in that category.
That's a good one.
Merce.
Okay, Merce.
Merce, yeah, for sure. He definitely turned that curve. He's definitely talking about his life.
All right. Then I had I hate this saying, but we can come up with a new name. Gangster rap. I've always hated that. But I don't know if there's another way to say it or freak it. When I say gangster rap, of course, Schoolie D, NWA. I said here's an easy way to say if it's gangster rap. If more than 12 people get shot in your album, it's gangster rap. Like, if only 3 people get shot, then you're on the cusp. But once we pass like 7 and 8, and once people start dying, like it's different to get shot, but after 12 people, now officially a gangster rapper. I don't know. I guess we could think about another name for it because I've always hated that. Like from NWA, from '89, I hated that term, but I don't know any other way to kind of say it. We already said conscious. Now here's the thing. I was doing some research on this, and I've heard this saying before: emo rap. And I think we have enough of it right now. And I put sensitive singers. That's how
Drake is in that category, and he's the only one in that category. He can have that
Sensitive singers?
Nah, it's what's my guy?
Because
you know who else is what's that guy?
What's the cat that was down with Kanye? Had to join day and night.
Oh, you talking about
Kid Cudi?
Kid Cudi. That's the king of emo rap.
And I say Drake just because somebody hit me yesterday when I posted a thing of Nate buying the Tyler, the creator, and shout out to him for shouting her out. That definitely made her night, her year. But Tyler, my man hit me like, yo, Tyler doesn't rap. And I was like, well, does he sing or does he Drake? Like, Drake is literally like a fucking verb to me now. Like, do you Drake? Like, is that what we're talking about? Now, keep in mind, I'm not Porsche. I don't mind Drake. I think he's an entertainer. I have 2 Best of Drake mixtapes, but I gotta be in the mood to hear your diary. You know what I mean? Like, so.
Yeah.
But open the lane for that because now there are a lot more people who are singing their own hooks. And, I don't think J. Cole used to sing as much as J. Cole sings now. Like, J. Cole definitely sings a lot of hooks now than what he did when he first started with Friday Night Lights. So you got that emo man.
Russ is in that category.
Yeah.
Like, people have been trying to put me onto him. I cannot stand that dude. But he's in that emo.
I never heard of him. Russ?
Yeah,
Russ, yeah.
He got 1 or 2 joints you might just be able to listen to, but I'm with Eddie on that one. I haven't dug all the way into that rabbit hole yet.
I got your lyrical miracle MCs. We said that's your Elzais and your geniuses. And here's the thing: there was a couple of people I couldn't figure out, and the first thing that came to mind, and it's funny, it was from the conversation me, Porsche, and JR had last night with Brandy's being your favorite singer's favorite singer. I just had this being an MC's MC. And people who came in mind like that with MCs, like, and a lot of them were in groups. It was like Dilated Peoples, Evidence, and Rocker. Like I'm just like they're an MC. They just rhyme. You know what I mean? I don't know if they fit the Artifacts, Elder Sensei, and Tame One. You know what I mean? Like they're just kind of like they got bars. They're nice. But I don't really have a category to really put those MCs in. Like they're just an MC's MC.
Yeah, it's like a Styles P.
Yeah, like we're is Styles P conscious? Would y'all say?
No, but he has those types of bars. He's made those kind of songs, but all the way conscious? No.
He's like street and conscious, like he had that album A Gentleman and a Gangster, which is exactly what he is.
So like Porsche said, if you hear Styles P, where would you say he excels at? Like what is like I said, Steph Curry, you think 3-point shot. I say Styles P. What do y'all say as what does he excel in?
He could play multiple positions. They got a lot of these cats that we're gonna be talking about. They could play more than one position.
And you know what? I'm glad you brought that up because one of the things I had down, and I totally forgot to say, was we are now playing in a time of positionless basketball.
Correct.
I got an MCs listed as my stretch 4 right now. I got a stretch 4 MC right now.
We are that. And for people who don't watch basketball, I think it goes back to 80 when the Lakers beat my Sixers and Kareem was hurt and Magic stepped in and played center and dropped 42. So this is your point guard who's like, screw it, I'm 6'9", I'll play center, drops 42 points and wins the chip. We saw more of that in the 90s when Scottie became a point forward and Scottie Pippen would bring the ball up court. Anthony Mason with the Knicks. Anthony Mason used to bring the ball up court, so that's a great point, Jens. We're now playing positionless basketball. And I think about another person who I despise on my team, Joel Embiid. He's a 7'4" person who wants to shoot. I feel like texting Joel Embiid and our coach, who I'm not even gonna say his name, he right up there with Candyman. This is the definition of
Damn.
I don't say Brett Brown's name more than 3 times because every time I do that, he stays another year. So I'm hoping this is the last year. So I'm hoping he'll get ghost. But so yes, you're absolutely right. We are, and I forgot who kind of coined the phrase, but somebody in sports did. They said he's a Swiss Army knife. He can do everything. Lamar Odom, he can post up, he can handle the ball, he can shoot it, he can kind of do everything. Yeah. So we'll call those the Swiss Army knives MCs who kind of do a little bit of everything. Just to throw a couple other names out there, Ghostface. What do you think he excels at? Is it storytelling? All right.
But I think it's in a way to where he's a Swiss Army knife.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because he's had radio joints, particularly talking about females, but in that storytelling mode, the Wiz is typical Ghost.
Okay. All right.
Man.
What would we say, Guru from Gangstar? What would you if you,
for a position?
Yeah, is he a Swiss Army like? Because I think Guru can kind of do it all. He can.
I think so.
Bars, he can tell you good. Guru is underrated to me as a storyteller.
Agreed.
Like,
Yeah,
agreed.
So, Swiss Army knife. What would we say Prodigy is?
Prodigy is a spitter. In my opinion.
Period.
He is a gangster,
He's a gangster
killer,
spitter.
gangster killer spitter.
Don't.
Okay, a gangster killer spitter. Because 12 people died on the Mobb Deep album. They have passed my average for gangster rap. All right.
For me, he is the epitome of AI on the court.
Okay.
Takes a lot of shots, but will drop 60 on you. Taking 60 shots.
Okay.
You know
All right. What about Ice Cube?
Ooh.
Could
Well-
we put him on the conscious though?
He's conscious. To me, he's conscious and he's a storyteller.
Yes.
Equally.
Okay. Yeah.
I literally have him in my categories, both, like in both slots, because I think he excels at both equally.
All right. Somebody like J. Rue. I had him under conscious.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Definitely.
Yes. Yes.
conscious.
Yes.
A little bit. Yeah.
All right, cool. So far we have spitters, cerebral MCs, conscious MCs, storytellers, street poets, hood reporters, cocaine traffickers, adult contemporary, gangster rappers, emo rappers, lyrical miracle rappers.
I have one more category.
What you got, Portia?
The ones that do like I call them like the feel good rappers. Like they do only joints for clubs and like nothing is really in depth or you know, like nothing that makes you think. They're not really a storyteller, not saying anything, but they're the rapper you kind of go to kind of like, you know, you play at a party, or like a DJ would be like, I gotta
Lil
have
Jon.
this.
Just about Lil Jon.
Yeah.
Pitbull, Mr. Worldwide.
All right, so tell me some people who fall in the feel good rapper category.
Oh God. First one off the top of my head, honestly, the first one top of my head is Nelly.
Nelly
Yeah.
is
Nelly has never written anything of substance.
Ever.
With the exception of Tip Drill. That's full of substance. But Nelly is the first person I think about when I think of how Portia
Ass
described
trafficker.
it.
He's an ass trafficker.
Because nothing he's ever done.
an ass trafficker. Yes,
Like, who is the rapper that had that song about oh my god, I have no idea who this person is. It was the one something about having a lot of money for strippers. Like, I know that covers everybody.
I'm about to say that's about 50 of them.
It was like something about booty going up, booty going down.
I
talking about the Yin Yang Twins crowd.
That's a lyric. Booty
Yeah.
down. Booty Me Down is a song.
Oh my god!
Now here's what I don't want to do.
It.
This is what I don't want to do because I'm about to say something and I don't want to piss somebody off. Are we talking about a lot of down south rappers? Because
I don't know.
I would, because Little John,
T-Pain.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Pitbull's in that category.
I would put T-Pain in the feel good. Pitbull for sure.
Yeah, Pitbull for sure, 100%.
I never knew Pitbull was a rapper. See, I'm finding out new things every day. I just looked at him as an entertainer. I literally, if you ask me who is Pitbull, I'd be like, I don't know if he raps, sings, dance. He's always at the Super Bowl though. I'm like, he's always at some event. He's gonna be at your all-star game. Like, this nigga is going to perform at any sporting event. Like, you know, you got niggas who do bar mitzvahs, fucking like sporting event. Like, if you're talking on the Super Bowl committee, it's gonna be like Pitbull, NBA All-Star game,
Pitbull, yeah.
You know, Major League Baseball All-Star game. Pitbull. What is Pitbull? We could play Jeopardy and it'd be what is Pitbull? So
yeah.
Right.
So anyway, I put
what's the other dude's name? Flow Rider, whatever his name is.
Yes, Flow Rider would be
Rider.
Yeah.
Low Rider for sure.
Juicy J, because this is what I'm so sick and fucking tired of being accused of being East Coast biased. What is Juicy J? What is the 3-6 Mafia? What is MJ 8 Ball? Before everybody start coming from me from the Mason-Dixon line, Who are so? Where does MG? What does I'm about to mix up their names.
Yinz, you're up.
And 8Ball and MJG, you can call so-called gangster rap. You could do that with them.
Yeah.
3-6 Mafia. They got a lot of club hits and stuff like that. So I would call them club.
So
Juvenile would be in clubs too.
Right.
Yeah,
Because there's a different aspect of club. It's not just what you think with the Nelly shit. Like I could do a whole 30-minute set of 3-6 Mafia and literally, no pun intended, tear the club down.
It's some grimy shit too.
Right. And that's my point. It's different aspects to that.
So we're not gonna put them with Feel Good with Pitbull and
No.
Okay, all right.
You put some 3-6 on, you better have 6 of your biggest homies with you.
All right. So, how about this?
Telling you,
club up people. So we gonna put them under tear the club up.
hey,
Yeah.
that's what's gonna happen.
Okay, so
What's gonna happen? If I put Scissor up on, rap,
Oh yeah.
Okay.
rap, and that's not even their biggest joint.
Okay, so
That's just a joint.
We're gonna just have a category to tear the club up rappers. Okay. So we're gonna put I don't want to mix them up. That's UGK,
3-6 Mafia.
3-6 Mafia.
No. You can put in that category.
I wouldn't put UGK in that. UGK is more gangster. I wouldn't put UGK in that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm moving UGK back to gangster. 3-6 Mafia.
You can put 3-6 Mafia. You can
Bone
put
Crusher.
Bone Crusher.
Bone Crusher.
What's my guy out of Georgia?
Hey, y'all gotta slow down with me. I'm slow mo on the down south. So
My bad. I got you.
Hey, we after tonight we're gonna see that Kill put up a mixtape. Bang out to my down south.
You remember when Chris Rock was like, when a nigga get a GED and people were like, now you can go to college, it's like, just slow down. I just got my GED. Like, just slow down. I just called somebody MJK. So I'm just
MJK.
I don't know mixtape just yet. But all right, so 3-6 Mafia. Who are some other down south folk? I do not want to.
Hey, Jens, what's my guy from Georgia? No more playing. GA had beef with
Pastor Troy.
Oh, Pastor Troy. Yeah,
Pastor
that's
Troy.
Pastor Troy.
Where does Pastor Troy go?
Fuck your club up, and now you gotta call the insurance man.
Pastor Troy.
Pastor
Okay.
Troy.
Come on, y'all. Where does Pac go? I don't want nobody from the West Coast talking about I ain't named Pac. Where's Pac? What does he excel at, Porsche? This is your guy.
Penitentiary.
Oh my God, I hate Yinz.
Hennessy.
So I hate Yinz.
Hennessy. Put him under Hennessy.
Right on my enemies.
Right. Put him under Hennessy. Pac goes under Hennessy. Kill, put Pac under Hennessy. Come on, man. Write it down.
Are you done or are you finished, Yinz?
No.
Are you done or are you finished?
Oh God.
God damn. Pac is under genius. He's under intellectual. He's under poet. No, I would put him under street poetry. I would put him under storyteller. I would put him. Pac is actually like kind of an all around. He was really good at all of them because he's got some really good bangers too, like club bangers for sure.
Correct.
Like California Love, Toss It Up, like all of those are just feel good, sort of, you know.
I get around.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, all them joints don't.
So I would put shut up, Yinz. Patronizing me. I hate it.
I like him.
Oh my God.
So I personally would put Pac under gangster rap, under street rap, under or street poet. I would put him under club bangers.
He got emo joints. He got all
No,
that.
he's not in a category with Drake. Okay, Yinz.
He got emo joints.
I'm gonna block you right now. This is the day, guys. This is the day.
Oh,
You're poking the bear. You're poking the bear. Okay.
It's Army knife. I give him that.
This fool said put him under Hennessy. Like
Hennessy, not Hennessy. Hennessy.
right. I gotta put the double.
You gotta stretch that out.
All right. So we're at Spitters, Cerebral MC.
Portia is not here for this.
At all. At all.
We got feel good rappers, we got Swiss Army knives, we got tear the club up, and we got ass traffickers. So those are the categories.
I'm sorry, what?
Ass trafficker.
You really make
Ass
that?
That's
Like-
Uncle Luke and them. Uncle Luke.
Like strip,
Uncle Luke and
Yes,
traffic
yes.
that ass.
I would say strip club anthems. Like one of my man White told me once, like, yo, back in like 2000, he was like, yo, I'm just waiting for rappers to stop making strip club music. Like I think this phase. It's not a phase. Because somewhere along the line, back in the day, I remember Primo saying they would leave D&D, they would jump in his MPV, drive out to Brooklyn, and play what they just made, Gangstar made in the hood. And somewhere along the time in 2000, it went from leaving the studio, going to the hood, to leaving the studio, and we going straight to the strip club. Like that's where we started testing records in 2000s. It was like, we got to see how this work in the strip club. And if we work in the strip club, then we got to hit. So I won't say ass traffickers. I'll just say strip club, soundtrack to your strip club Friday night. Niggas ain't even in the strip club Friday night. This happy hour at the strip club. Niggas go to strip club all day long.
Strokers is open on Wednesdays, man.
Yo,
I mean, shit. Dilla got strip club anthems too.
yeah,
He do. That was his inspiration.
the strip club.
Oh
That
yeah.
was his inspiration.
Right. So tell me this. We'll go around. Rec. Who is one of your favorite MCs, and what category do they fall in?
I'm gonna go to my list. So one of my favorite MCs right now is D Smoke.
Okay.
D Smoke is one of my favorites, man. This cat, for those that don't know, man, he won Rhythm and Flow last year. He's out of Inglewood, California.
Eddie, that's the dude we was talking about on last
Yep.
week's app, right? Okay, yeah.
And he's
What's
nice.
his name?
D Smoke.
D Smoke.
Okay.
D Smoke. His album is called Black Habits. He's nice. He's bilingual, which is rare.
Okay.
Category for me right now, I would give him consciousness. I would give him a conscious category. If you listen to Black Habits, that's exactly what you're gonna get. Now that could change because he's multifaceted, but for right now, he's gonna be a conscious rapper.
All right. I still gotta check that out. I would try.
Bro,
I saw 2 videos in the show we did last week with Eddie Vega and Song. We was talking about him. The only thing for me was when I heard him, he sounds so much like Kendrick. Like
you gotta block that out. You gotta block that out. I got it too.
All right.
You gotta listen to him. I'm gonna give you 3 songs: No Commas, Gaspar Yanga, and Top of the Morning. Top of the Morning, you might rewind that shit 4 times.
Okay. All right, and that's on the album.
That's on the album.
All right, I'm gonna check it out tonight.
No commas is my joint,
It's
man.
crazy. But Top of the Morning, if I'm in a fucked up mood, I'm going to Top of the Morning. That thing's gonna change my whole vibe.
All right, I'm gonna definitely check that out. Yes, who's one of your rappers and where do they go?
All right, I got Q-Tip at a point guard.
Okay.
I think Q-Tip embodies what a point guard is. I think he's got the vision to see, because he's got production credits under his belt, so he got the vision to see where the music is gonna go. And I mean, he rhymes, so I would put Q-Tip at a point guard.
But I mean, out of all the things we just named, where would Tip fall in?
I don't know. Q-Tip's kind of an oddball, I think.
Yeah,
Maybe Q-Tip needs some Hennessy. I'm just saying.
I guess you could say. I guess you could say every MC's MC. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of hard to.
I would like that. Every MC's MC.
Yeah.
I like that.
MC's, yeah.
MC's MC. All right, I'm glad that category came in handy because I didn't really know what it meant when I
What
said
was
it.
the category? What was the name?
An MC's MC, like just somebody who's just kind of embodies an MC. They don't really, dope, but they just kind of embody.
Q-Tip is dope for that one.
All right, JR, what about you? Who's one of yours?
Let's see. I already said Big. I'm gonna say Nas, but I'm gonna put him under the poet, I guess.
Street poet, hood reporter. All
Yeah.
right. Street poet. Hood.
I like that.
All right, what about you, Portia?
I didn't go with my top 5 just because I always talk about the same rappers all the time. So I went somewhere in my top list, but I'm not going to say the ranking. Anyways, I got CL Smooth, and I got CL in the storytellers category.
Now, here's the thing that I'm going to have to call a 20-second timeout. Outside of Troy, I don't know what the hell CL be talking about. I'm totally lost. Like, I need to go to rapgenius.com to literally look at all I think CL has the smoothest flow.
Yes, he does. He does.
But outside of Troy, I am lost. Maybe I'm stupid.
And no. Maybe I listen to Troy all the time. So for me, it's literally like once a day, at least, if not more.
Me too.
So
everybody, hold tight for 1 second. Message: she likes Troy. Okay.
Anyway,
this throughout the show. Do not say fucking Hennessy. Don't put that in the timeline. And you're okay. Like Troy.
So for me, yeah. So for me, I feel like just the fact that Troy is so good at the storytelling, it may be the reason why I so quickly categorize him as a storyteller. You could be right. If that's the case, I would put him as in like a Q-tip position, like MC's MC. I think I would feel more comfortable putting him in that, just because you're right. Like, it is Troy that kind of coins him as a storyteller, but that is a flawless story. Like, it's got everything. His delivery, I mean, I could go on for days, but yes. Okay. I'm good with that.
Hey, who's one of yours?
All right. So how I did my list was more current favorites, and really it's like MCs who I would anticipate a new album. So if these MCs, I heard they were dropping a new album this year, I'll be excited over.
Okay.
So right now I have Sky Zoo. Even though he dropped 2 albums already this year, he's about to, or 2 EPs rather, and he's about to drop another full length, which I'm still excited for. Yep. And I got him in the street poet category. And it's kind of like what I was explaining, like, you know, every album has a theme, and he's, you know, he still has a street edge to his lyrics, but he's kind of playing the hood reporter role, you know?
Okay. All right. No doubt. The first one I got up is Common, old Common, pre-acting Common. We're going to put an asterisk on that. I'm talking about this nigga has not acted in shit yet. Common. That's the Common I'm talking about. And I would put him down as a Swiss Army knife because I think he can do it all. I feel like he's a spitter. I feel like making a name for ourselves, Resurrection. He's a storyteller with Stolen Moments, Payback His Grandmother, Testify. I feel like he's semi-conscious, like with Retrospectful Life and, you know, Song for Asada. And then I think he can also, we haven't put this in the category, maybe it is, I didn't know enough people fall in it, but battle rap. Like The Bitch and You is one of the dopest diss songs ever. You know, Poor She Had Sweet going at Drake. You know what I mean? Yep. So I feel like he kind of covers so many of the different. So I feel like he's a Swiss Army knife MC. All right, Rhett, give me another one for you, man.
YBN Cordae.
Oh, I heard it, man.
YBN Cordae, man. For this generation's people who are out, if we're looking at the correlation of what we like compared to what's out, he's the closest thing to it. He can do everything. The joints that are out now that we do like, he can do those, but he can really do the joints that are substance filled. That album, The Lost Boy, is dope. I would put him as a power forward. And then for category, I would categorize him maybe right now as a Swiss Army knife.
Okay.
We only got one album right now. But if you listen to the album, based on the criteria that we just gave, with the exception of the coke rap and all that stuff, he's going to give you all of that.
Okay.
He's going to give you all of it. He's going to give you the record joint that's not, it's a club banger. It's called Rich Nigga Problems with Anderson .Paak. You've heard it, you probably just didn't know that was it. That's a banger. Period. Point blank.
That's a banger. Yeah.
That's a club banger. DJs love it. Like it's a dope song, but it transcends everything.
All right.
I'm gonna give him Swiss Army knife. I like YBN.
All right, no doubt. Yeah, so you got up next.
I'm for my two guard, I'm gonna go with Joel Ortiz.
Nice.
I think Joel Ortiz, I guess you could call him a spitter. He got stories, but I think he got that. He could score from anywhere on the court. Let's say like that. If we're gonna keep it in basketball terms, so I go with Joel Ortiz as a spitter, as a two guard.
All right, no doubt.
I'm not mad with that.
I'm gonna put an asterisk on that because I want to talk about it. I got a topic for a show, and it's kind of based off of Joel Ortiz. So we'll talk about that later. All right, JR, who's the next one you got?
Rakim.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
I'd say he's a spitter, so that's why I put him under.
I agree with you.
No doubt. All right.
I am learning from y'all. Jesus.
All right. So Rakim, spitter. All right, Porsche, who you got up next?
I got MC Light, and I put Light as a Swiss Army knife, and the reason why is I think she can kind of do it all. She can spit. She can tell stories. She's got a dope diss track. She's got club bangers. Yeah, I mean, she's an all around. She's my one of my favorites. So,
my mom would love you, Portia.
What?
My mom would love you. She loves MC Light. That's her favorite MC. So,
MC Light is phenomenal. So yeah. I put Light as a Swiss Army knife comfortably. And just on the note of Rakim, I would actually put Rakim as an MC because I feel like he can kind of do it all. And I feel like even if we were to stretch it to like battling, I feel like he would even be good at that. But that's just me. I love Rakim so.
Nah, and the MC Light, that's a dope pick too. Because I think she has. People don't give Light enough credit for being to adapt, but they don't give enough credit ever. Period. Two, they don't give enough credit for what I like to say is coming up in an era where she was banging with the big boys. Like, you know what I mean? She was right there with Kane, Rakim, G-Rap, LL. You know, again, I think we touched on this on a show last night, Porsche, and JR, but kind of how like with Rhapsody, like it's no diss to Rhapsody, but I just don't feel like there's a lot of heavy competition out right now. So it's kind of like, T came in one day and was like, yo, who's a dope female MC? And I'm like, Rhapsody, because there's nobody. Like, it's like you win by default because there's nobody else. Whereas there's still a million other MCs you could listen to in the 80s, you know, besides Light. So the fact that we chose to allow Light into our rotation with the Rakims and the G-Raps and all of that is huge. But then I don't think she gets enough credit for. And I mean, I know Roughneck wasn't a really boom bap song, but Roughneck was a banger when it came out. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, she still was able to adapt a little. But yeah, so I think Light's a dope pick. Eddie, who you got up next?
Next, I got Fonte, and I think we properly categorize him a dope contemporary MC. The dope thing about Fonte to me is, he just kind of, he tells his life in his lyrics, right? So the Listening by Lil Brother, right? Like they were young in that album and you heard it. Like they had a joint on there. I can't remember which song, but they're going to the club with Median, you know, trying to pick up girls and all that stuff, you know, ragging on, and it sounded youthful. It sounded fun, you know, so you get that. Now, as he gets older, you're hearing, you know, he's talking about, you know, something like The Good Fight. He's talking about his job, you know, getting laid off. He's talking about being married, his wife. Now he got another song where he's older and he's telling you, don't go to a club. I think that was the joint with Eric Roberson. He had a song where he's like, you know, stay home, you know, there ain't nothing out there or whatever. So it's just dope because I feel like as I've grown listening to him, it's like I'm at that point in my life too, you know, so it's like I could relate.
Right. I agree, and I almost would put him under a Swiss Army knife because I think Fonte could do it all. But I understand what you're saying.
Very
like,
true.
Like what Porsche said, if what's the first thing you think of, yes, it is a dope contemporary rap. But I love on his last album, he's like, yo, I will body you niggas. Like, don't get it fucked up. Like, I can go bar for bar if y'all want. You know, so
because if you look at Hiding Place, he went bar for bar with Elzhi. And Elzhi's a spitter. You know, so Fonte, he's known as this, but he showed you he go bar for bar with the best.
Right. The next person I got up is short and simple. Beanie Siegel, gangster rap, hood rap. I don't know any other way to say it. I think Beans, when Beans came out, Beans was incredible to me. I hadn't heard any MC spit like Beans when I heard him on that joint. When he's talking about Monopoly and comparing it to the drug game, and just Beans to me is one of the few MCs who can go bar to bar with Jay. And sometimes I think he's bodied. I won't say he bodied Jay, but he got the best of Jay. You know what I mean? And I don't think too many MCs can say that. So I mean, he definitely goes in the, I'll just say hood category. Instead of saying gangster rap, I'll just be like hood rap. But that's definitely Beans. 12 people going to get killed on his album, so he definitely falls under that category. So I got Beans for that. Rec, who's somebody else you got?
I'm gonna go with Skyzoo.
Okay.
So for me, I put Skyzoo as he's a storyteller, but for me, I put him as a spitter because of the way he delivers his stories. He's spitting. There's stories, but he's going and he's barring you in these stories. And it's consistent. That's what we're not getting right now. We're not getting that consistency. Ed hit it on the nail. He's had 2 albums this year, 1 album last year that was critically acclaimed. Like, it's consistent every time. You know what you're gonna get with Skyzoo. And I don't think he's in that category to where like he can become, uber famous, but I think enough people know about him to where he doesn't have to do anything else but what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
he's right good in his lane. And for me, I'm gonna put him down as a spitter.
You know, the thing I think Sky doesn't get enough credit to is that even though he dropped, because I was gonna say, damn, this dude already got 2 EPs already.
He got milestones out. I only listened to the first song today.
Oh, it's so
But here's the wild part.
It's great.
I think what makes it different than from a lot of MCs who drop a lot of music is it's different. Like, now this one is about fatherhood. Like, so he can drop 5 albums in a year if he wants, but you really don't get tired of it because it's almost like watching a different movie every time.
Right.
So
He got different themes. He's always got a theme to his
that's
album.
the craziest part, because you said it. Each album seems to have a movie theme to it.
Right.
The last album had Menace to Society more so as a theme. This album, when I first heard it, Boys in the Hood, and he takes that fatherhood role and just runs with it. Like, he's genius when it comes to that shit.
So
and it's so cohesive and it's so coherent and perfect. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
but
I just heard him on an interview too. He said his next album is going to be about gentrification in Brooklyn.
Oh shit!
Like a whole concept.
Right. But I think that's what differs him from most other people, because they're, Conway. I'm like, bro, just chill. Like, let me just wait for the album, because Conway basically is in one zone most of the time. I'm not, so it's like when you get a Conway album, and this isn't a bad thing, because I could say the same thing about Gangstar. You hear one Gangstar album, you've heard them all. And that's not a disrespectful thing. It's just that their formula was like Guru and Primo said, like, this is what we do, so. But I feel like with Skyzoo, you're getting different things. So it's a difference between Conway dropping 6 albums this year and Skyzoo dropping 6 albums this year. I'm not going to get tired of the Skyzoo one, because it's going to be something that's different to me of what he's speaking to. Like with Retropolitan, I think he did an incredible job of trying to show you how Brooklyn is being gentrified, but then also taking you on truck, on a joint, what is it, 3 days with I forgot. Is it 3 days where they use the paid in full thing? But he gives you a perfect picture of New York in the 80s during that Mitch and Alpo era. So Skyzoo is
I got a quick caveat. So you hit the nail on the head. So that consistency and him being the spitter, you want your 2 guard to shoot consistently, right?
Right.
That's why I give him that 2 guard spot, because he's consistent. His mid range is killer, and he's gonna bang you if you leave him wide open from 3.
Right.
And if you're playing too close, he's gonna go to the rack. He's gonna put nuts in your face. So that's, for me, that's why I give him that 2 guard spot, because you have to be consistent. That's what I was able to play in high school and college, and you have to be consistent. You have a night off, you got somebody waiting on the bench to come and take your spot.
Mm-hmm.
No point. Yeah. So you got up next, good brother.
I'm gonna go with my center. Your man Clev One.
Oh, okay. Out of
Gutter, grimy.
Clev One? I don't know about him.
Bust your ass in the paint, bust your ass in the paint, you come down through there. That's Clef.
You say he out of
That's
Philly?
Clef. That's hey, don't nobody really be talking about him like much. Clef is fucking solid as a motherfucker.
Let me explain
Straight
something.
up.
Let me explain something to you. Well, tell me this first. What category? I know he's your center, but over here, what would you put Clef as?
I would compare him maybe to Beans in that kind of like gangster kind of, like that. Clev's a bad motherfucker, man. Straight up. That's his category. Grimy bad motherfucker.
Yo, here's the wild part with Clef. So my man Driz comes to the crib to record his album. He like, I'm bringing my man with me. Clef walk in. You like, yo, can I spit on something? He spit on something. I was like, yo, let's go. Like, let's do an album right the fuck now. Like, it was like, yo, let's go. For people who don't know, just look up the Booze Brothers. They are, people would look at as Philly, it's them low and Clef one. Polo, if you think I rock Polo, these niggas put my shit to bed. Like these are low lives. They're in the low life Ralph Lauren complex documentary. Like, and it's amazing to me. It's so great to hear because these are my peoples, and it's so dope to hear that so many people everywhere. One of my peoples who's out in LA, because me and Clef and Driz have a group called Unidentified Objects. And I produced the joint for us. But when people heard that, people was like, yo, Clef one? Like, niggas was like, yo, please introduce me. I gotta get Clef on my album. I don't care what he wants, money, whatever. So for people watching, DABUZE Brothers, the Booze Brothers, put them in on YouTube. Clef has one of the dopest, illest voices to me ever. Yep. You know what I mean? So I just keep that love here because
hey, he got that Wild and Samuel had on fucking what's that?
Pulp Fiction.
Yeah. Hey, look, when I was getting ready for this, I was listening to a joint they got called Fat Boys. Mm-hmm. Man,
I'm
telling you, check Clef out, boy.
Booze
Brothers too.
Clef wanted him low, man. Clef wanted him low. All right, JR, who you got up next?
Y'all done said everybody. Did we say LL?
No.
Nope.
Oh, okay, we can put him under everything, right?
I personally would. I think he.
I would.
Good choice. Good mention.
I mean,
Cool J is probably the best at everything too.
Yeah.
Cool J is probably the best.
Got a point.
I have on mine as a spitter. You got Murdergram, I Shot Ya, I'm Bad. I mean, the bulk of his career is spitting. Storytellers, Their Event, the doo-wop, cheesy rap blues, touched on some things with Illegal Search and stuff like that. And again, battle tested. Jack the Ripper to me is a top 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Like this. So I definitely.
Tracks for the ladies.
Yeah, definitely doing it. I mean, like I said the other day, L came out when I was in 5th grade. I heard I Shot You when I was a sophomore in college. Not too many people can
last that long.
5th grade to when I'm a sophomore in college. And I Shot You was hard as hell. And he held his own with Fat Joe, Foxy, Prodigy, and Keith Murray.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, again,
I guarantee you, if Cool J came out with something right now, he'll have something and it'll be dope. I bet you he would.
I'm not going to debate you on that. It will be about the production to me. It's not.
It's
not about
you like we were just saying. Cool
I don't
J,
know if I can make a dope song right now, but
through the eras, he always got at least something. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I'm not saying like the album will be out of this world, but I guarantee you he'll have something that'll get people thinking about that album or whatever the case may be. I'm pretty confident in that.
Yeah, you right about that. Porch, who you got?
I got Blue. I love Blue. I think everyone kind of knows that. And I put Blue under, I put him under storyteller, but I also put him under contemporary. I'm not actually sure where I would put Blue because he does tell stories. He brings up, things he's going through. He does sort of really divulge and put his emotion in there. So, there's a feeling there. And I consider that to be a story because he's kind of telling you about things he's going through, whether it's drugs or women or, whatever, life in general. But then at the same time, he's he's dope with the bars. Like he's also just a good MC all around. So I'm not really sure where I would put Blue, but he's something. I would put him under storyteller comfortably, but I don't know about if you guys would argue that or be mad at that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean he's a little bit of a Swiss Army knife, but it's like he's a Swiss Army knife that has a little bit different tools, if that makes sense, right?
Yes, that makes sense to me.
You know, he does some of that, you know, rappers stuff as well. Yeah. Like he get on a track with those kind of MCs and shine, but you know, he gets introspective, he tells stories, he does a lot of different things.
Like that album he dropped last year, Along Red Hot Los Angeles Summer Night, is an entire experience. Like I hadn't heard an album quite like that, where it could actually like transport me to LA and like remind me of being in LA, listening to that. So I mean, that like there's something to be said about that. I mean, yeah, Swiss Army knife for sure. Maybe a different set of tools, but Swiss Army knife, maybe.
All right, no doubt. Eddie, who you got?
I got Pharoahe Monch. So I have him as a cerebral lyricist, but I feel like, and I'm not sure how to describe it. I kind of jotted down master of concepts, because Pharoahe Monch, like, he's amazing coming up with concepts. I mean, you think of Nas's storytelling. I mean, and a lot of that came from Pharoahe Monch when him and Prince Po was doing their thing. You know, the whole Straight Bullet thing turned to I Gave You Power and all that. But Pharoahe has a lot of that. So I'm like I said, I'm not sure what's the best way to say that.
He's a conceptual MC's MC. That's how I would categorize Pharoahe.
Good one, Porsche.
He can do everything, and he's super conceptual with it. I would put him there.
That's a great one. Yeah.
Conceptual MC's MC. I actually have Pharoahe too. I had him down as Swiss Army knife because I felt like he's a spitter. Desire, Simon Says, Rapid Eye, Storyteller Trilogy is one of the dopest stories I've ever heard in hip hop. And then he's also conscious because he's got When the Guns Are Drawn, Damage. He's always talking about gun violence too. So,
hey, let me ask you this, Kel. What position of the five would Pharoahe fit under for you? I say small forward.
I was small forward. I was gonna say small forward because I feel like he can do it. He can do it all. You know what I mean? I mean, when you even look at small forwards now, I mean, Luka was a small forward at first. You know, and then they had to to the point, you know, and it's just like because Luka can post you up, he can shoot the three. Pharoahe can kind of give you everything you want. Like I feel like Pharoahe could come to the studio and be like, "All right, kid, what you want me to do today?" Like, and literally, I could be like, "Tell a story." He'd be like, "Okay, cool. You know, what you want me to do today?" Just bar an MC. Bet. Okay, cool. What you want me to do today, Kill? So that to me is like the small forward coming to the coach, like, "What you need me to do tonight? Who we playing? We playing the Clippers? Okay, who you need me to guard? Kawhi, got you. How much you need me to drop? You know." So I feel like Pharoahe would be.
And that joint that he dropped with Styles P recently, like think about it, man, he turned that over fast, and I mean that song has layers, like is a deep concept. Obviously, you know what he's talking about, but he conceptualized it in such a way, like starts off, you know, talk about, you know, they're burning crosses on my lawn again, basically talking about his ancestors, but then bringing himself into it. Is crazy concept. I mean, you know what he's talking about, but the way he flipped it is what's amazing to me. So yeah.
And I love Pharoahe too. I call him the Sade of hip hop because he drops like every 8 years. Like he's not the dude who's gonna give you. He's not a Skyzoo. He's not giving you 4 EPs in a year. You know what I mean? We'll be lucky if we get another Pharoahe album maybe before 2022. You know what I'm saying? So that's dope. Here's a person I got, and I want to say this very specifically. I fuck with this person as a rapper, not as a journalist, not on Love and Hip Hop.
No, I know who you're talking about.
I fuck as a rapper.
Joey.
Joe Budden.
Okay.
Joey.
I love Joe. Yeah.
Joe is just
Budden.
To me, he's a Swiss Army knife because he can do it all. He's a spitter. I always tell people, if you ever want to hear Joe go in, I mean, you can do the Funk Flex freestyle. My personal favorite is Green Lantern. When he came up to Green Lantern, Beans is up there, Styles is up there, Free is up there. And he like, yo, I ain't come here to hang out with niggas. I came here to spit. Like, yo, dude had an attitude with Green Lantern. Like, yo, I just came here to bar y'all real quick. And the bar, again, you're in the room with Styles P, Beans, Freeway, and even they was like, ooh, you know what I mean? They had some joints. For people, because I know a lot of Joe Budden people only know him as Pump It Up Joe Budden.
I was just gonna say Pump It Up Joe, and he's
So much bigger than that. Yes.
Pump It Up Joe.
Years ago. And again, I tell a story all the time. I went to a MOP Joe Budden show. All my peoples there was Joe Budden fans. And I was like, that Pump It Up nigga, why the fuck y'all hype for him? You know? And they was like, you never heard none of his move music? And I was like, oh, fuck that Pump It Up nigga. And this was the first time in 46 years I felt left out of hip hop because I was in the club and everybody knew every Joe lyric bar for bar. And I was at the bar like this, like, what the fuck? How am I not part of this? And I went home and I downloaded every Move Music. I think he was up to Move Music 3 by that point. And I've been a fan ever since. He's got Battles, Blood on the Wall. That nigga tears Prodigy's ass to shreds. Okay, he bodies Prodigy.
Blood on the Wall. Okay.
He's got Battles. Storyteller. I personally, Joe is my favorite story of all time. And the reason I say that, he's got a song called 3 Sides to a Story. Joe give you a song that's 8 minutes of a story.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? 3 Sides to a Story is like Unusual Suspects. This is no disrespect to the Biggs and the Nas's and everybody else. Their stories are usually straightforward. A Common, the stories are very straightforward. You know, we're talking about this. Grandma got robbed on the riverboat. We got to find out who did it. Joe's stories be, you got to remember this character from the first verse, from 3. You got to play a puzzle with Joe. Who killed hip hop? For 15 minutes, this nigga goes in and breaks down exactly the whole downfall of hip hop from 2000 on.
Yep.
For 15 fucking minutes. You know what I mean? So he gives you that. He's also adult contemporary, because I don't know if cats have heard Ordinary Love Shit. It's a 3-part series just about relationships. Yep. And I dare any man who has ever been in a relationship to listen to Ordinary Love Shit. Yep. And I'm like, yep, I did that. Like, this dude got so many bars. He said something like, I signed up for a girl, not a chaperone. Like, and it's like, nigga, like
he has lines like bars like that in all the like Some Love Lost and all of those kind of albums that he has about love. He's always using things that make you think that are like super relatable, and like it makes you think as like a woman listening to it, you're like, damn, like, like, you know, and then as dudes listening to it, it's like, yeah, you know, kind of did that or didn't do that or related to that. So yeah, Joe is phenomenal.
And for people, if there's somebody out there, trust me, I have converted a lot of folk over to Joe. Okay, people have come to my crib and been like, I don't fuck with Joe. I'm like, listen to I have a mixtape called The Mind of Joe Budden.
Nice.
And everybody who has listened to that mixtape comes back like, yo, Kill, you's right. Dude is nice. You know what I mean?
That up again.
He's got a song called Only Human. He talks about the first verse. He's talking about dealing with, you know, his mom, because he had drug addiction. And he's like, yo, you know, niggas talking about they have an intervention with me. I speak to niggas daily. That was never mentioned to me. Like, he's talking about that. The second verse, he's talking about suicide and, you know, I want to kill myself, but I can't imagine my mom's having to read a note. You know, and he's talking about like one of his breakups, because, you know, he was always banging somebody bad. So I think it was Esther at the time. So he's talking about their breakup. And so again, for me, it's a dope contemporary. Like, you know, he's got this song called Role Reversal, when he's like taking out his girl's son, you know, buying him sneakers. And he's like, hold up, I don't even do this for my own son. Like, you know what I mean? So there's also that self-reflection too. So again, Joe speaks to me, and I'm just talking about the rapper. I literally have never listened to the podcast unless he has a guest on, because I just think Joe's an asshole. I think Joe personally, you know, as a person is probably an asshole, you know, but in the booth, he's a problem. And not to mention, he's in Slaughterhouse. I mean, we talking about Roy, Joel, and Crooked. And to me, Joe holds it down every time. There was a joint, I don't know if you saw this on YouTube, where they were like in 4 different places. Like Royce is in Detroit, you know, Joe is in New York on the bridge. And he's talking about, I think, his aunt or somebody in his family being sick. And yo, it was dope. I think he killed the bars. But then later on, he was telling people that he didn't feel like doing it because he's like, yo, my aunt or whoever in his life was dying. But like, you know, Shady was like, come on, we need this. So that's why his bars is just about what he was going through at the time. Like, everybody else is barring you, just spitting. And he's spitting too. But he's telling his story about like, yo, what he's going through. And I thought that was dope. But then to even find out later that it was like, yo, these niggas was making me do this. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna rhyme about what I'm going through, but it was still crazy. So again, just Joe Budden, the MC, not the person. Right, who you got for your number 4?
I'm gonna go with Snoop Dogg.
Okay.
Snoop Dogg. You want your 4 to be able to be consistent from, inside the arc and to be able to rebound and bang with the big dogs. Kind of play their position. You know what I'm saying? Not all 4s are your number 1 go-to guys. A la Tim Duncan's or Karl Malone's. Your 4s are normally your second, maybe third option. But Snoop, and this was me doing research. I've never seen Snoop on an album solely by himself. He's had a good cast around him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You look at the Chronic, great cast around him. You look at Doggy Style, great fucking cast around him.
Mm-hmm.
The second album that was on Death Row, everybody was kind of Doggy Style or whatever. Everybody was all over the place. Dogfather. Everybody was all over the place. Production was fucked up. It's almost like when the Bulls went to year 99, they ain't had nobody. You know what I'm saying? But when he has the right people around him, he comes back with Pharrell, and even when he was down with Master P, that album wasn't bad. But when he has the right people around him, he makes quality music. Quality music. He can go from a Pharrell to a fucking Knots, and that's rare. That's rare because those are 2 totally different people when it comes to beats.
Right. All right.
I give Snoop number 4.
You put him under the category though. Like
category? Honestly, I'm gonna throw you for a loop. He's my point guard.
No. I mean, as far as the whole spitter, storyteller, trafficker.
He is my MC's MC. He just raps.
Okay.
He just raps.
Yeah, I see that too.
He just raps. He not gonna bar you to death, but if you put a beat on, he gonna freestyle to that shit.
All right, no doubt. Yeah, so you got up next.
I'm gonna go with Busta Rhymes at my stretch 4. I think Busta could do all kind of stuff. He's kind of a Swiss Army knife. I wouldn't say a full Swiss Army knife, but he could definitely go from 4 to 3 and maybe down to 2. But I keep him as small and power forward for his skill set. So yeah, Busta could spit. Busta got stories.
So
got songs for the club.
So Swiss Army knife?
Kind of. Maybe Swiss with 1 S.
Yo,
it's too deep, bro. It's too
Damn.
ass trafficking and now Swiss with 1 S.
Hey, Busta got some ass trafficking tracks too now.
I was gonna say I would give him the 2 S's because he can spit, he could tell a story. He's the wild boy. I don't know if y'all heard the last joint he was on. Well, I think that was Supreme Blientele. That nigga was even a cocaine trafficker. He was cutting up.
Yeah. You're right.
Like,
Damn, I forgot about this.
Yeah,
He was.
but remember he was doing that on the Big Bang.
He was.
right. I mean, and then he falls in the Rex category of tear the club up because I feel like if you throw on the right Busta joint,
there's no doubt.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
on the right night, or you throw on Touch It on the right night, you could.
Yeah.
So I would give him
Yeah.
both. I would give him both S's.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. We'll give him both.
No Swiss with disease, just S's.
Yeah, we give him the S. SS Super Sports.
Yo, quick question. Since we're talking about Swiss, what happened between him and Drake the other day? Like
Yeah,
Swiss.
I need to know what happened.
He called him Pussy Boy.
I think it has something to do with leaking a
All right,
track.
so
I got
Drake.
I got
Yeah.
I'm sorry, boy. I'm sorry. She's like, yes.
You don't understand how much I was like literally out loud to myself. Like, I love Swiss. I love him. Like,
But didn't he apologize though?
Yeah, but they told him
brought
keep
it
that
back a
same
little bit.
energy when we see you. They said, fuck your apology. Keep that same energy when we see you. They don't want that apology.
Oh,
I'm telling you, man.
They said, we're going to come see you.
I'm trying. Well, I'm not trying to mend that one, but I'm always trying to be that bridge between the youth and the old heads, because you got the same thing going on. What's my man from Rap a Lot?
Oh, Jay Prince and YB and young boy never broke or some shit.
They going back and forth, and niggas like, nigga, you ain't the only nigga who gangster no more. Like this goes back to what I'm always saying why I love The Wire, when you got Kennard who kills Omar. You got the little because there are no rules anymore. So it's like Jay Prince, that shit works for niggas our age. For these young boys, they don't care nothing about what you did back in the day. I guess Drake's people is like, nigga, we don't care nothing about Swiss or who you roll with the Rough Riders. We got our own thing. All right, JR, who you got up next?
Shoot, y'all said everybody. I guess my last one would be Jay, I guess.
Okay. And what do you put Jay under?
Everything.
Swiss Army knife? Right.
Yeah.
You don't seem too enthused about it, JR.
He's talking about Jay-Z?
Yeah, JR looking like I'll take 200. I'll take, what's
I mean, he's in my top 5. He's in my top 5, but
All right. Totally off topic again. Eddie, who is this kid who sounds just like Jay?
Oh shit.
I thought that was his nephew or something.
That's his
Yeah, his nephew. Yeah.
Oh, it is.
I had no idea that was his nephew, so I just made a comment. I'm like, basically, I think it's whack, like you stealing someone's whole sound. You know what I mean? But when I found out that was his nephew, I'm like, okay, then I consider that paying homage. But if he wants a career, he can't be sounding like Jay.
Yeah,
not at all. Not
at all. Because he's not black.
Here's the thing.
No.
Here's the wild part. I feel like if you have a clone, right? Like we all want a clone, right? I know I want a clone. I don't want to go to work. I want to send him to work. But no, I know I can't say it because I do love my job. So fuck it. There's some things I want a clone for. So can we be mad at this kid if he gives us the stuff that Jay ain't giving us no more? Like almost like, for instance, when I didn't know that your old Drew was somebody else. I
knew you were gonna say that.
My man called me, was like, yo, you heard Nas new shit? He got an alias now, your old Drew. He wants. No, that's true. So I swear to God. My man from Queens called me like, yo, and because he's from Queens, I kind of believed him even more. He's like, yo, Nas got an alias, your old Drew, because he signed to the contract with Def Jam, he can't release the type of music he wants to release, so he's doing it under your old Drew. So I'm listening to the old Drew in Philly, and I'm like, I don't know if this is Nas. Like, it does sound like Nas, but I'm not, like, something's off. And then eventually I found out it wasn't him. But would that be a bad thing? Would that be a bad thing if your old Drew, because everybody's complaining, we want Nas over hard beats, we want Jay back over boom bap. Would it be a bad thing if this kid gives us everything that we want from Jay? Would that necessarily be bad? Now, I know his career wouldn't be great because he'd always be seen as by the masses as the
Jay's nephew, yeah.
But for me, I'd be like, shit, if the beats are dope and he can spit, I'll take it because Jay's not giving it to me. Why? One reason I always love Fab is because Fab will give you the radio shit, but he gives you the soul tapes. So I don't get mad at Fab. I just know I'm not buying your album, but when the soul tapes drop, my nigga, I'm downloading it the night it comes out. And I've always wondered why more MCs don't do that. Why won't Jay just say, you know what, y'all? Here, every year I'm going to give y'all a 5-song EP of just what y'all want. Y'all want me over boom bap? Y'all want me talking drug shit? Here you go. You got it. So if this, I mean, I know he won't, but, if there's a clone who's giving it to me, because the kid sounds good.
He does.
I didn't see the video, and you just said, yo, Kill, here's some new Jay-Z. I probably would have been doing the same thing I did with your old Drew. Like, that's okay, true. That does sound like Jay. But so for us, not for the masses, for us, would you be mad if this dude gave us the Reasonable Doubt Part 2 that we've been wanting from Jay? Or even not even Jay talking about drug shit, because I always feel offended when Nas said that shit like, this is for you trapped in the 90s niggas. Number one, my nigga, I'm not trapped. I just want you over dope ass beats. So I don't want you getting with Large Professor. I'm not one of those people who like, ooh, Nas, get back in the studio with Premier and Large Professor. No, I don't want you nowhere near the mofos. I actually want to get around Alchemist, get around some new producers. I don't want what you gave us. I just want you over dope beats. Yeah. So would y'all have a problem with this Jay-Z clone if he came out with a dope album?
No.
I wouldn't have a problem with it, but I as far as Would I want to hear it? No, because you already had Jay. Y'all always hear people talking about, man, when I hear Action Bronson, that just makes me want to go hear Ghostface. So why have you?
That's Diet Ghost.
Right. So
Right. Exactly.
why if Jay-Z's nephew that sounds exactly like Jay gave you Jay records, why wouldn't you just say, oh, well, I can just easily just go listen to Jay? It makes me just want to listen to Jay.
But here's the problem. The problem, my thing with that is Ghost is still giving me what I want. So
but what is it that you want from Jay? Because to me, I don't want Jay to drop any more albums. 444 was enough. Like,
Yeah. I'm with Portia.
That's where I'm at with it. I don't want to move to Jay.
like, what is it that we want from Jay? Because Kill, I think you're on your own, man. Because
No. Not necessarily that I want, because I'm with you. I don't want anything from. Well, here's the thing.
I don't want anything from Jay Jr. and I don't want anything from Jay. Because
Hey,
I
Junior.
don't know what they can give me.
Jay Jr.
But here's the
He said
thing.
Jay Jr.
I don't know.
The reason why I don't want anything from Jay is because I don't know what Jay's gonna give me. And what I mean by that, it's kind of like with Pharoah. I feel like Pharoah is gonna constantly give us what we want, what the streets want from Pharoah, we're gonna get, which is why I'm always gonna be excited for a Pharoah album. With Jay, you're right. I felt like the 444. I felt like that was a punishment album. I felt like that was like I cheated. Lemonade is out. I got to make these songs about I'm sorry I cheated and I'm sorry I did. So I felt like it was like I tell people all the time: you cheat on your wife, you got bankruptcy. You got 7 years of kissing ass, or you could just get a divorce. But if you're not gonna get a divorce, you're gonna have to go through 7 years of is this where you took that bitch? Is this where you fucked that bitch? Is this where you did this? You can't get mad. You can't be like, oh God, you bringing that up again, nigga. You got 7 years, or you can leave. You have a decision, my nigga. You don't have to stay and face the punishment. One time I got more punishment when I was 15. Guess what the fuck I did? I left. I moved in with my grandmother because I was not staying. So you don't have to stay, but if you stay, you have to do the punishment. Fucking story. Y'all can ask my mom when y'all meet her. I love. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna go wash some clothes because y'all know my mom a jazz musician. So she was like, you're on punishment. You're coming to this rehearsal with me. I'm like, nigga, I'm 15. I got a girlfriend now. Nigga, I'm not going to no jazz rehearsal with your ass. I was like, yo, I went down the basement, was acting like I was washing clothes, bagged up my CD player, and walked out the back door and went to my grandmother's house for the rest of the fucking summer because I was not dealing with that punishment. So 444 was Jay's I want to stay. There's too much money on the line. The Beehive will kill me. The Beehive will kill me for cheating on Beyonce. And also, let me just give you this album. I'm going to tell y'all to pay y'all taxes and do shit that y'all should already know to do. As adults. If people lost their mind.
A 1 hour appointment with your financial advisor at your local with you, mind you, for free. I'm just going to put that out there.
But I think Jay won't give us that what I think we want because his bottom line is so much bigger now. You know what I mean? I don't know if you can come out with American Gangster right now and then still try to, get deals with the NFL and things like that. So that's why I don't want any more Jay because I don't think I'm going to get Jay. I think I'm going to get whatever image he wants to portray to the people he's trying to.
Want him or right.
So Sean in the comments, he apparently this dude got a name. His name is HD. That's Jay's nephew.
Like,
and he said he's dope.
HD, like HD.
Yeah, like
-D. Yeah.
Like HD.
Yeah. But I'm wondering, like, does all his stuff sound like a complete Jay clone? Because I feel like,
I heard like
one joint is,
and they all sound like a Jay-Z song. Like,
but here's the crazy part. They've been doing this for years. When Biggie died, we got Shine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I wasn't messing with Shine either. I wasn't messing with what's his guys? The other big dude. Gorilla Black. I wasn't messing with him.
No.
I wasn't messing with the gospel rap version, BBJ. I wasn't messing with him either.
Here's the thing. The reason why we love Jay as much as we do is because Jay has a certain charisma about himself. Like, I'm talking like up until American Gangster. Okay, so Jay from Reasonable Doubt to American Gangster has a certain charisma, a certain energy, a certain way about himself that is pleasant, and it's dope to listen to, and it's dope to hear. This is why, like, Jay is not that anymore. He can't give us that anymore, and I think nobody can really pinpoint it. And I think we say, oh, it's the production and we need you on this beat and we need you on that. But I think that's a lot of chasing a reason. But really the reason is that Jay is just checked out. I think he's
I agree.
Checked out. I think he has reached every possible goal he ever wanted.
Yeah.
And he just doesn't care.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, Porsche. I agree to an extent. First thing, for
we
me,
disagree with this.
No. But for me, like you said, I checked out with Jay even through some of those albums because like you said, what does he excel at? I think Jay-Z is his best talking about street shit. That's where I think he is his best. I think for me, I was never a big dude in the club. We talked about it last night. Jay fell into trying to follow Big's blueprint of let me give you a club banger, let me give you street banger. So when American Gangster was coming out, I was like, I don't even want to hear it. Niggas was like, no, it's going to be like a soundtrack to the Frank Lucas movie. So he's going to be talking about drugs. Oh, okay. Now I'm in because now, I mean, I don't want Jay-Z talking about drugs because you're a billionaire. So you can't even be authentic with it.
Yeah.
They are with you saying he's not hungry. Here's the crazy part. Jay bodied that Jay Electronica album. Jay bodied that, in my opinion. I think Jay went in on every verse. Most people who are like don't like the Jay Electronica album because they're like, yo, it was Jay's album.
It's a Jay-Z album, yeah.
I mean, and not to say that this is the magnum cum laude of hip hop, but Ev hates Jay. Ev has never been a fan of Jay, and Ev will call me like, yo, Jay is bodying this Jay Electronica album.
Oh, he was rapping on it.
But here's the thing. I think people only think Jay bodied it is because Jay Electronica didn't. Do you know what I mean? Like if that was a Jay solo or if it was a Jay Electronica solo, this conversation would be different. I honestly believe
I can agree with that too.
I'll say this. I will say this. I think Jay bodied it. Even if Jay, I don't think Jay Electronica did horrible. Like I'm one of those wild people who don't think that this was a flop album. I listen to this album all the time. I like it. I give 4 mics strong as hell. But I think maybe for Jay Arthur, which your point was he's not hungry. Maybe Jay knew I'm making an album with Jay Electronica. The person who everybody in the world has been waiting 50 years. So I know I got to bring it. So you're right. If it wasn't a Jay Electronica album, he may not have brought it because he's, there's no competition right now for Jay. I always looked at Jay, since we're talking ball, I looked at Jay like those Chicago Bull teams that are like 70-2, and then they lose to the worst team in the league because they play to their competition. So to me, when Jay came out, it was like, okay, Big, Nas, Pop, AZ, all these rappers, I got to bring it. After a while, there was a time when Jim Jones was dissing Jay, and Jay was like, Jim Jones? Like, I'm really going to reply to this nigga? Like, but
right, that's real.
Back, and it was like, oh, it's time. Nas is barking. Okay, here we got the takeover. We got the blueprint. So I feel like Jay is that basketball team who plays to his competition. So I agree with this wasn't a Jay Electronica album. I don't think Jay is barring it because there's no competition. I'm bored right now. Yeah. But because I am on this album with Jay Electronica, I know I got to come with it because if I don't come with it, then all these old people going to be like, see, Jay ain't got it no more. Jay Electronica bodied him. So I do agree with you that if this was a Jay solo album, I don't think he would have came with it. I think he came with it because he knew what was on the line. You know what I mean? It's kind of like Kobe up against Tracy McGrady in their heyday. It's like, I know I got to come with my A game right now for this player right here. So I do agree with you, but I don't want another Jay album because I don't think anybody else will bring that hunger out of him anymore. There's no competition. And I just think Jay is that person. He's like, y'all saw the Jordan thing. Like Jordan always needed something to motivate him. He was always looking for that edge. Oh, word? You ain't speak to me? Oh, I'm a body this. When George Karl ain't speak to him in the restaurant, I'm a body you. I think maybe that's Jay, but there's nothing to push him. There's nothing to make Jay be great anymore. So I totally agree.
Good. Him and his wife can go sit down.
They are asking for it.
They are. I mean, I thought the Carter album, I thought that was whack. You know what I mean? So I'm with you, JR.
Him and her, they go to island somewhere and take their kids and go somewhere. I'm done with you. Like, for real.
About Beyonce, I can't say that because to me, Lemonade was crazy. Lemonade's a fine.
Okay, all right.
You don't like Lemonade? You ain't like Lemonade?
I think it's overrated, big time.
Okay, that's a whole nother show.
Yeah, it is. Please.
Right.
This is a hip hop show, please.
Of course. You're up next. Who's your fourth person?
I got KRS-One.
Ooh.
And I put KRS as a.
Oh, you know what? Good kill. Shut up, kill. Shut up, kill. I
Why?
feel like Key and Peele spit with where he be Obama and he like Luther. Calm down. I was about to say what nothing. Leave it.
Dang.
Somebody who just sat back and watched children get raped by Africa bambaataa for years. We could put them in that.
I know. I'm talking strictly as an MC.
I'm sorry. Strictly as an MC. I'm sorry.
Strictly as an MC. I put KRS in the, I want to say cerebral category.
I'm sorry.
Oh my God. Let's just KRS, cerebral, no explanation needed. Let's just move on.
I can't stop thinking about 13 and good. Oh, man. I'm sorry.
Oh man.
I'm sorry. I ain't be the best. But it just popped my mind. I was like, we put him in the R. Kelly category. We put him in the R. Kelly stuff.
Oh, you said it twice.
Definitely belongs there.
I said
That's
R.
right, no more.
You said it twice. Oh, you said it 3 times.
No, I said R. I ain't say the second R.
Okay, all right.
He'll be here in the morning when I wake up.
We got to call Kill in the morning and make sure he's good.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Porce. You said KRS conceptual.
No, cerebral.
Cerebral. Okay.
Oh shit.
And okay. And I think he's a Swiss Army knife. I think I'm gonna shut up because I was about to go back to a story. 13 and now we just right back to where we just started. I apologize. We're just gonna stay with cerebral. I was trying to help, but then I said story 13 and good, and we're back.
No, I don't put KRS as a Swiss Army just because when like I'm thinking what do I think KRS is known best for? And to me, when I think KRS, I just think like a cerebral MC. So
yeah,
that's
right.
right.
That's dope. All right, Eddie, who you got for your number 4?
So my number 4, I got Royce the 5'9". So
Nice.
The funny thing about Royce is that up until like he got sober, I would have categorized him as just a straight spitter, right? Mm-hmm. And then I want to say maybe not really the bar exam, that was just spitting too, but when he dropped Layers and he had that track Tabernacle, like from there I saw a change, like started getting into more storytelling, more concepts, more of that. So, you know, I'm not sure. He's kind of like a hybrid, you know, he still does the spit stuff, but he gets more of that storytelling. He gets more into concepts. Like his latest album, you know, is speaking on, you know, financial wealth in the Black community and all that stuff. Then he had, you know, Book of Ryan, which showed his personal story. So, yeah, he's not necessarily a Swiss Army knife, but he kind of does multiple things. He's kind of multifaceted, but not necessarily. You know, he's a spitter and he's a kind of storyteller as well.
No doubt. And Ed, you brought it up last week. Shout out to the No Knockoff podcast. From when you said they interviewed Royce and he was saying when he was drunk, he couldn't remember a lot of these stories. So I think a lot of times with Royce, you do have to go pre and post alcohol because, you know, it's I didn't think Royce could get doper and he did, you know, because like you said, the boom stuff and all that, Royce was like spitter. You know, he was one of the people who would have made the show of an MC who a dope MC who hasn't made a 5 mic album yet. Yep. But to me, Booker Ryan, he at least was a 5 mic classic. You know what I mean? So, you know, it just kind of shows you, you know, the pre and post of it like that. So I think that's dope. The next person I got up is Kendrick Lamar. He's I feel like he's kind of the Swiss Army knife. I feel like he's a spitter. He can do your backseat freestyles. He can spit. Storyteller. I feel like Good Kid, Mad City. The whole album is telling the story. You know, or you want to go Duckworth off of Damn. You know, like that was a dope story. And then he's conscious shit to Pimp a Butterfly. The whole fucking album. That's how it is with, like, I'm not even gonna name a song. Just the whole album is a story. The whole album is being conscious. You know, I feel Damn is a little bit of both. You know, it's kind of like he's got some stories, he's got some spit, and he's, you know, got some stuff like that. So I would put him down as a Swiss Army knife. What do you guys think about Kendrick? Is it?
He was on my list. I'd have said that too.
He's on my that's my last one, and
mine too.
He's not on my list, but that's a good analogy for it.
All right, no doubt. All right, who is your last one?
Trying to decide between the ones I got left. I'm gonna go with somebody that you guys haven't heard of, man. New guy. He ain't new, but I'm sure nobody has him on their list. Crime Apple.
I heard of him. But
He's down with Griselda and just, you know, that whole beats with no drums and shit like that. I just really got hip to him, I'd say about 3 months ago. But he's dope. He's dope. He's got an album with Muggs. He does joints with Griselda. I would put him as like just straight coke rap.
Okay. So he's a trapper.
He's a trapper. I had him and your boy SGC, in case somebody got him on their list. I ain't gonna say it, but I had them two as my last two. But Crime Apple, man, check him out.
Yeah.
He's definitely.
So one thing I want to say, right? Like, I've heard a lot of people say Crime Apple is dope. The thing is, it's like, since we talk about categories, like that coke rap drug trafficker thing, like I feel like I'm up to my eyeballs, right?
Correct.
And the last, like, I know Kill even said this himself, the last new artist in that category that kind of really made my rotation was Dope God Cooks.
He's here. He's
and
right.
It's like just so much that, you know, because I've heard of, you know, other MCs, not just Crime Apple, but other MCs in that category get mentioned. And now you're even narrowing it down even more, because it's like that drug cocaine trafficking, but then the whole drum list thing too, which we're getting so much of. So that's why I kind of feel like I haven't dove into him yet.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like I need to step back a little bit and maybe revisit him.
That was the reason. That's the reason why I dove in, because I wasn't in that space, and I was just like, you know what? Let me take a stab at it. And you know, I had already done the Stove God Cooks. I had to step away because I was on my kill. It was every morning on the way to work. I was rapping something off the Stove God Cooks, so I figured I'd step away. And then when the whole COVID, you know, thing came about, I had time to chill in the crib, so I dug into it. It's not bad, but I feel you. There's a lot going on with it.
What's his best project?
In my opinion, Wet Dirt. So far, what I've heard, Wet Dirt. Came out in 2019. That's the first thing I listened to. I went back to Modelo. That's the joint with Muggs. And then he just released a joint in March called Jaguar on Palisade. I'm about halfway through it. I might need 2 listens for it.
The funny thing about Rec, you know what I've realized with a lot of hip hop and a lot of like this Buffalo Griselda hip hop, they don't give a fuck about names. No. I think they name shit, whatever you name. What's the best album? Wet Dirt. What?
Perfect example. Perfect example.
What should we name this album, nigga? I just stepped in some goddamn Wet Dirt and got my fucking J's done.
Perfect example. Haitian body odor.
We're not. Nope. We're not going down.
I'm just saying. I feel
you, but I'm not.
Example. Oh no, we ain't doing that tonight.
Not doing that.
Saying.
I feel you. Okay. The funny thing about Crime Apple, I met him at the Howard. This showed me that the game was changing. I go to him trying to sell beats. He's hit me back with trying to sell verses.
Yeah.
And that showed me that the game has changed now, because now rappers are like, well, yo, you a producer, put me on your album, I'll do it for a G. And it's like, no, nigga, I'm sorry. I'm trying to sell you the drugs. This is like a whole new category for me. Like, I'm a drug dealer, like we are like 2 for 5. No, nigga, I got this. Like, no, nigga, I sell to you. Now So the game has changed so much that now
Yep.
MCs are like, well, let me sell you a verse. And I'm like, nigga, that ain't how this works. I was like, nah, bro, I'm good. Like,
I'm dancing on the Boondocks. This cracking city.
No disrespect. You opening up for Griselda, my nigga. Like, yo, if I'm a buy a verse, it's gonna be a Benny verse. You know what I mean? Like, no disrespect, bro, but yo, like, but yeah, that showed me that the game has changed because I was not ready for that. You know, but definitely, I've heard he's got some stuff. But I'm with Ed. I'm at capacity. I'm full. I can't do no more coke rap. I can't. It's done.
Yeah.
I can't do.
And that's the thing. See, I'm not heavy on the coke rap.
Yeah,
where you are.
And Mayhem Lord. It's so many of them Buffalo. Like there's just. I always swear Griselda did for upstate New York what Wu did for Staten Island. There was a point where there was not one MC from Staten Island. It was the Force MD, and that was it for like 10 years. Wu blew up. Here comes 50 motherfucking niggas from Staten Island. I feel the same way. As everybody from Buffalo, everybody from upstate New York, Stove Guy Cook from Syracuse. I have never heard of an MC coming out of Syracuse. You know what I mean? So I applaud it, but yeah. All right, Crime Apple is your last. Jens, who's your last one?
I kind of got a tie for my small forward. It's between Fabulous and Talib Kweli.
Okay,
that would be between those two, but I'm probably leaning a little more to Fabulous. I think for my small forward, he just like you were saying before, he can give it to y'all. I don't know if I call him Swiss Army knife though. I don't know if I go that far, but he definitely got club songs. He definitely with the soul tapes. That's really the real albums. I wouldn't say any of his actual albums. I don't go to those. Soul tapes is the best part of any of his catalog, in my opinion.
Right.
So, I'll go with Fabulous.
Here's the thing with Fabulous. I forgot this position. I called them punchliners, and I had Jada and Fab. They both stand out to me as punchliners. Like they're always gonna have a line. Jada and Fab are always gonna have something that I'm like, oh, did that nigga say that? Did that? You know what I mean? So I have Fab down as a punchliner.
Yes.
But I haven't been excited for a versus battle since the first one. I'm actually kind of hyped for this Jada Fab joint.
Is it Saturday or Monday?
Monday.
Oh, it really? Oh, okay.
I'm gonna watch it.
I want to say, but don't quote me.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it. Anytime you spit a verse and it's around Solange and B, and they come to check you for it.
Right.
I'm gonna that out.
And the funny thing about, because even I know a lot of people didn't like the Nightmare on My Street joint or whatever it was called.
Freddie and Jason.
Crazy part. I liked it, but I think it was based off I had no expectations for it. But what I walked away with is I felt like Fab kind of bodied Jada, in my opinion, because when I heard they was doing it, I was like, Jada's gonna body Fab left and right. And I think JR, this kind of goes back to what we was talking about with Brandy. I think Fab niggas keep their ear to the street. I think Fab kind of knew, okay, niggas is saying Jada gonna body me, so let me make sure I come with this. Because to me, Fab was in his bag on this joint. You know what I mean? I felt like he bodied Jada. I just did better than Jada. I felt like he bodied Jada on here. And I felt like it was because he had his ear to the street and he knew niggas was like Jada's. Because I think if you ask the common hip hop head who's doper, Jada or Fab, they're going to say Jada.
Yeah. So that album, I remember when it dropped, and forgive me if I'm wrong, but wasn't there some allegations surrounding Fabulous around the time that dropped? Like that he was abusing his girl or something like that?
Yes. It might have.
It was prior to that.
So to me, that kind of messed it up. Like,
yeah, it did.
I felt like I don't even want to mess with this project at that point.
Yeah, it did, because he was in a very big domestic issue.
Yes.
And was arrested, and there was a lot of articles coming out.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So we got Fab. JR, who was your last one? Or you're done?
Y'all said all of them.
All right, Portia, you got for your last one.
You said all of them, but I'll throw in Chef Raekwon.
Okay.
And
I don't put a title on him, Chef.
Chef Raekwon.
You don't put a title on him, Chef.
I got him as, I want to say, like a Swiss Army knife. or an MC's MC, or like MC, because he can kind of do it all. He did the, mafioso rap. He did the, like the bangers. He did storytelling. Like he did kind of everything between his own album and features. So yeah, I got Chef on there and think he's dope.
All right, no doubt. And Eddie, who you got for your last one?
Last but not least, you already know Black Thought. Black Thought. I said he's what I put him as. I think a stream of consciousness. He does his lyrical miracle stuff as well. But I feel like he's also an MC that has evolved, and not in the way like he's always been a spitter, right? He's always been dope lyrically, but I feel like as he's matured, you get different things from him lyrically. You had a lot of that, the Roots now coming up with more the not conscious, but the concept albums, stuff like that, like Undone, How I Got Over, kind of sort of was a little conceptual. But yeah, I think Black Thought, he went from just like kind of straight spitting and being more of a like an MC's MC to now. That's why I say stream of consciousness, because he kind of putting a little bit more depth in his lyrics, but not necessarily to the point where he's storytelling, But
Right.
but he's dropping gems. Like if you listen, you're gonna pick up some shit,
Right. All right, no doubt. And again, before I say mine, great pick, Eddie. I like Black Thought, everybody. Please, let's dead this live from the pit of hell that killed his life. I got people, you know what I hate when people, this is the thing I hate the most about people, when people do this shit. Kill, you don't think Boyz II Men is the best group ever, but they're from Philly. That doesn't mean shit to me, everybody watching. I don't care. If people are like, how you not like Black Thought? He from Philly. Nigga, I don't like a lot of niggas from fucking Philly. Okay, so the whole they're from where you're from. How can you not like them? Easy. I mean, JR, I'm sure there are a lot of people in Brooklyn you don't like. Just because you're from a borough don't mean
that they right.
literally have to like. Oh
Yeah,
my
I
God.
get that all the time on Twitter. I get that all the time on Twitter anyway, because I always have Nas in front of Jay, and they be like, "Well, you from Brooklyn? How could you do that?" What does that mean? Like,
right?
I'm with you, but I love Black Thought. Again, prayerfully from this episode. Again, I just have a favorite. I don't know. I'm not doing this with you. Yes, you already on poor shit list. I'm not doing
What's happening? I'm enjoying the show, man.
I know you. I already know it. My last person, it's a tie. They're two cocaine traffickers. They are probably the two best cocaine traffickers right now walking the planet Earth. Pusha T, Benny the Butcher. It's straight to the point. I love them both. They both have incredible punchlines. I think Pusha, when I heard Daytona, I literally I played the first song over and over again. So many punchlines. I have no idea how Pusha's been talking about selling cocaine for 20 plus years.
Yeah.
Way to do it every time. He's still making excited. I mean, imagine having to watch the same movie over and over and over again, but it keeps getting better. Like, I actually want to say he's selling coke better now than he was 20 years ago. Like,
Right.
cutting up a brick. I don't know. I've never cut up a brick, but that is my thing. We got cocaine traffickers. Now, what I wanted to see, and this experiment didn't work, I just was trying to see if everybody's favorite MCs kind of fell in the same category. Because kind of like how I started off with, I love all point guards. I was wondering with this all, but Rec, you got D Smoke, who was conscious, YBN Corday, who's Swiss Army Knife, Skyzoo, who's a spitter, Snoop, who's an MC, and Crime Apple, that's the trafficker. Yinch, you got Q-Tip and MC's MC, Joel Ortiz, the spitter, Cleb One, the Hood, Busta Rhymes, who's Swiss Army Knife, and Fab, who's a punchline rapper. JR, you got Nas with Street Poet, Rakim, who's an MC's MC and a spitter, LL's who's Swiss Army Knife, Jay Swiss Army Knife. Of course, you got CL, the storyteller, or an MC's MC. MC Light, who's Swiss Army Knife, Blues, the dope contemporary, KRS, and we got Chef Raekwon, who's
You didn't say Pop. You didn't say Pop.
He didn't say Pop.
No,
They
because
didn't-
we talked about it. Scarface and Pac were on my list, but we already talked about them, so I
Yeah,
didn't.
we talked about Big, so I didn't say it again.
Here
Yeah.
go
Damn
Jensen shit. Okay.
I thought
And-
she had a Hennessy rapper.
Oh my god, I can't stand Yins. Let this be known. Put it on record. Please do not edit this part out. No, I can't stand Yins.
And then Eddie had Skyzoo as a street poet, Fonte as a dope contemporary, Pharoah Monch is cerebral, Royce the 5'9". What did you have Royce as a 5'9"? What did we put him in?
I said like spitter / storyteller.
All right, spitter, storyteller, and then thought with streams of conscious. So I guess with MCs is definitely different than it would be for basketball. So yeah, but just wanted to do this experiment. Totally failed. What I thought was gonna happen, but neither here nor there. Still a dope show, and for everybody again, I love Black Thought. I do.
Yes.
And I'm going to do this again just because I wanted this to be the final time I have to do this. That again, I own every Roots album. So I said this on the episode the last time. I said this, I'll fall out again, good brother. I am going to do this again.
Oh my god.
Every Roots album. The song, I hate this shit right here. This Undone, flipping on a mattress backwards. I hate this shit. But I still brought it just because of what the Roots have done for Philadelphia. So before a motherfucker asks me something about Black Thought, nigga, you better own at least 5 of these Roots albums. And you gotta have to take a picture of them first before I reply to this shit. Black Thought. I love Black Thought, Black Thought.
Oh, shit.
Hey, tell us what Concerto the Desperados about that.
Your guess as good as mine. It's about the concerto of a nigga who just rode into town on a cowboy.
Oh my god. I can't.
Yo.
I love the rhymes. I mean, I don't.
All the fake shit got to go. That's what it's
I know,
about. All
right?
the fake shit got to go.
There you go.
No, I don't know what it's about. I'm the wrong person to ask, but it doesn't matter. So before somebody tells me that, nigga, you have to take a picture of at least 5 Roots albums that you own before I even bring up this debate anymore. Because half y'all motherfuckers just download your shit for free, so you really ain't a fan. To defend a motherfucker, you gotta own a motherfucking shit. We gonna make
He in his bag right now.
you want to defend a motherfucker, you better show me you own it. You own they shit.
Yeah.
You know, mad niggas gonna be showing me in their phone, nigga. You done download it off some old website. Show me you have brought the album, nigga. I got all 5 copies of
No
things.
screenshots. That's right. Tell us. No screenshots. No screenshots.
With 2020,
Man.
you want to defend a nigga, you better own a nigga shit, because it's useless to be sucking these niggas off and swallowing them. You don't buy their music.
Oh my god.
What the fuck is wrong with y'all?
Yeah.
That took JR out.
Oh man.
Just
All I'm saying is, if you are swallow a nigga, you should own a nigga shit. That's all you do.
That's real.
You roast this shit. I was talking to one of my girls that the other day. I'm dead ass. Y'all remember that JR? I know you know that Janet song, If?
Yes.
Okay, I was teaching this to one of my girls. You know, she was talking about, you know, getting with a man and everything. I said, yo, let's listen to this song real quick. She thought it was all right, and I said, but what do the words say? And she's like, it says, if I was your girl, all the things I'd do to you. And I said, that's the concept right there. You giving the nigga too much shit, and you ain't his girl.
Right.
I said, that's what you got to do. So you got to be like, man, I would give you all of this, but I ain't your girl, so you don't get it. So if y'all gonna swallow niggas, buy they shit. Like, I'm not saying be they girl. I'm just saying, like, be a supporter of their music.
That's
That
real.
stay on Twitter and argue with motherfuckers all day about who's the best and why you don't like. But then when I ask you how many albums you own, you like none. Nah, nigga, we ain't doing that 2020. So there's my thing. If you gonna swallow a nigga, you better own some of their shit. At least 2 albums, bare minimum. Y'all think it should be more? What do y'all think? If you swallowing a nigga,
No,
nigga,
fact.
on their own discography. I mean,
Oh, you go, yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Right.
no, you're not gonna fight
Yeah.
nigga over marrying
Better
nigga.
own it.
Don't even know what's the 411. Like, nigga, you don't own the what's the 411? Nigga, why we talking?
Hey,
Yeah,
kill.
it sounds stupid.
If they only got one album, they spitting, huh?
Oh my god.
Tell them, kill. Tell them, hey, if you got, hey, in 2020,
That
in
is a
2020,
wrap for
in
you.
2020, if you got one album, you're spitting. Get it straight.
Man.
One album, you spit it. You one album.
Okay, cool.
Yo,
Yo, you had to get that off your chest, huh, kid?
Know the rules. If you want to debate with me about hip hop, you gotta at least own 2 to 3 albums. That's good. Right? That's a good minimum. Like you gotta at least own 2 to 3 albums.
Now pin that to your profile on Twitter.
Okay, so people will know that is prerequisite.
But they still
everybody just have your camera phones ready. Before you debate with me, you're gonna have to take a picture of 3 CDs or 3 vinyls or 3. I don't want to see no downloads. I don't want to see no downloads. Downloads don't count. I can't tell if you brought that off of iTunes.
Hey, and you gotta have the jewel case. It can't be just no damn CD picture. Fuck that. You want the jewel case.
I want to see the jewel case. I will
yes.
This was gonna be like they're gonna be like, kill. You don't like Black Thought, nigga. Show me something. They're gonna be like, okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay,
yes.
All right. Now we can talk. Now we can continue the conversation. But until that mystical, magical, majestical day comes to when you swallowers actually own these people's music, I don't want to hear shit out y'all mouths. So there we go. JR, tell them where they can get at you.
Oh my god. Damn, what was I at? Because Kill, you fucked me up with this one. JR World of Soul on Instagram, Music Soul Nick on Twitter. Yeah, that's about it over here.
Yo, tell them about the thing you about to be in, bro.
Saturday I am going to be in the intro documentary. Yeah, I did that. You know, I did a unsung video on them. It got like 40,000 views, and it pushed up a documentary for them. So this Saturday, I'm heading up to New York, and they're gonna interview me for like an hour and ask me questions so I can be in the documentary with them. So I'm about to meet Jeff and Buddy and Mr. Cheeks is gonna be there. Big Daddy Kane is swinging through to do an interview. They getting
oh man, I love Mr. Cheeks.
Yeah, Dave Hall is gonna interview, so it's gonna be big. So that's what I'm doing on Saturday. So
that's dope. Congrats,
bro. Porsche, where can they get at you? Everybody but Yentz, because I think he's blocked.
Yeah, Yentz is out. On Twitter at Cherchez La Porsche.
No doubt. Eddie, where can they get at you, good brother?
All right, man. So on Twitter at EddieD80, Instagram, Eddie Got Soul. But I also want to plug word of mouth. You know, Kill. We got to plug that, you know. It's our new music promotion. Right now, you know, there's a remix event for Tracy Lee's new single, Sheesh. So, you know, head on Twitter. You know, if you follow me, Kill, Rec1, Porsche, you know, you'll find all the information about that. If you're a dope producer, if you know a dope producer, you know, tell them submit. You know what I mean? All the information is going to be in the post.
Yep. And then I was definitely going to tap on that too. And what I want to say about this for a lot of producers is a dope opportunity because, again, talking about how Crime Apple, how the game has changed. The game has changed now that for a lot of shows that were going on before COVID, that you now have to pay to be an opening act for people. You know, back in the day, it would be like, oh, you're dope. Okay, come be on the show. Now the promoters making money by having you pay them to let you open up for people. And I'm saying that because you also have MCs out here that are like, I forgot this like app that they were using. And it was like something like, oh, you could submit your music to be heard and critiqued for $300. You know, for $300, you can send. I'm not saying that this is real. This is real. I'm not using this producer as real one. But Babyface will listen to your music and critique it for $500. You know what I mean? So somebody may say, hey, that's great. Yo, I'm going to send Babyface, and Babyface tells you this. This is an opportunity because what's going to happen is Trey and D-Dot and Young Guru are going to be listening on Trey's IG Live to the remixes and deciding which are the dopest ones. So this is an opportunity for you to get your beats heard from Young Guru, who is fucking probably the biggest engineer of the last 20 years. He's Jay-Z's engineer, if you don't know. So this is an opportunity that for some other people would be charging you $300 to get Young Guru to listen to you know, your music. So this is a dope opportunity. It's a dope single, first of all. Trey is talking about Breonna Taylor. He's talking about George Floyd. He's talking about what's going on in the world. So it's a great opportunity for that. And I've even told people for my remix, I put my man Yao on it. You know, I've told producers, if you got an MC, yo, have them write a verse about dealing with Brianna and what's going on, and slide the verse in there. You know what I mean? And make the song yours. You know, so. But again, this is just a very dope opportunity to be able to get your music heard by Trey. Maybe he'll put you on. Maybe you'll sell a track. Maybe Cole will hear something and be like, whoa, you know, off camera, like, yo, who was that person? Da 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 da. And again, it's free. So why wouldn't, if you're a producer, why wouldn't you do it? Like somebody hit me up today, was like, yo, I'm gonna do it. I don't know if I'm gonna submit it. I'm like, well, nigga, if you want to do it, you might as well. So like, why not?
Right.
Why take the time of doing a remix and then don't submit it? Like, yo, this is a perfect opportunity. And again, I thank Trey for giving this opportunity to people, because a lot of producers don't have this. When me and Trey were talking offline, this would be a dope opportunity. Even though I'm a producer, see, I'm the Large Professor type nigga. And I say that because Large Professor could have brodied all the Illmatic. He could have been like, yo, this nigga Nas nice, I'm doing a whole album. He ain't do that. He opened up the floodgates. I could have easily sent me the acapella for me to remix it. I was the one who was like, nah, let's open up this opportunity for other producers, because I know other producers want to live too. I could easily be like, that I'll produce it and just sit back and chill. It's like, nah, like this is a good look for other people. So again, if you're a producer, why you wouldn't do this, I have no idea, but I would say do it. Yes, where can they get at you? Everybody but Porsche. I don't think she's getting at you right now, but everybody else except Porsche. Where can they get you?
You know how I normally do. I just want to big everybody up on the panel. First time meeting JR face to face. So glad to do that. I want to speak on that thing you was talking about though with the producers. I think with something like that, nobody loses. I think to be heard, somebody's gonna, you know what I mean, especially if they listen to it, somebody will catch somebody's ear. So it ain't like, you know, you may not be the final pick, but something's gonna come out of it. So yeah, encourage everybody to do that. That's dope. So that's all I had to say. Glad to be on as always.
All right. I don't know if my co-host is gonna have you back on, but that's
my girl, man. That's my girl.
Yeah, that's a whole offline conversation right there. Brett, give him everything, good brother.
Twitter at DJRec1, Instagram at DJRec1, Mixcloud at DJRec1.
All right, you already know it is with me, Kill Apartment 5B on Twitter, 889 on Kill 889 on Instagram. We'll make beats for food. Again, the remix project is up. If you follow me, Eddie Porsche Rec Burn, you can get at us for the acapella, or you can email APT5B wordofmouth at Gmail. Again, that's Apartment 5B, APT 5B wordofmouth at Gmail, and we will send the acapella to you out. It is due back by July 3rd, Friday.
July 3rd.
Yeah.
Right.
So you've got time to sit down there and play with it. Like I said, if you got an MC who's dope, throw an MC in. You know what I mean? Put in some work, and you know, maybe Young Guru will hear the MC and be like, yo, that dude is dope. Again, this is how people got on. Somebody sent me a link, and I didn't know this, that the Alcoholics met Loop Pack at a party, and Madlib gave them their beats, and then they listened to it. And I didn't know I didn't know Madlib produced on the first 21 and Over joint. Yeah, he produced on the first one. I knew he produced on the third album. But yeah, it says produced by the Loop Pack, but that was Madlib. So again, you know, same thing. D'Angelo got on. He gave somebody a demo, and they was like, "Yo, who's he?" You know what I mean? Same thing with Slum. That's how Tip got on. I mean, Dilla got on. He gave Q-Tip the Slum Village demo, and everybody was like, "That's dope." But who did them beats? So again, like Yen said, you have no idea what's going on. I'm with Trey. Us, all of us are trying to present an opportunity for people to get on. People on the timeline are always talking about there's no opportunities. This is a perfect opportunity, and it costs you nothing.
$3.99
opportunity.
Don't be scared of. Don't be scared. Just do it. Fuck. That's all you gotta do.
Yep.
So that's what it is. I will catch you good people next week. Yes, I don't know if you'll be back, but we will. Y'all. Great day, y'all.
See you guys.
Peace.
Oh man.